Patty's Day. Make it all work. Make it all work before the end of the day. Get in line before 7 o'clock.
It's not funny, Caitlin. Nothing is funny.
Your face was funny.
Nothing is funny.
We're going to dive into some serious discussions.
Trad wives. Trad wives. The whole trad wife
Traditional wife life.
Trend? It's almost like we've been talking about what's old.
I didn't know what it was.
We're going to learn all about it.
Yeah.
These internet terms, they come at us fast. All the new lingo, all the new vernacular.
Yeah. But we were just teaching Anthony what the Bachelorette show was about. So I think Anthony's just kind of behind the eight ball in some things.
I knew what the Bachelorette was about. However, I didn't know the connection between one of our segments and the Bachelorette. Yes, Mormon wives. And there's sounds like there's some overlap between these worlds.
Yeah.
The reality TV worlds are all intersecting.
We were having a meeting and we just had to circle back. Let's circle back to that. Let's circle back because I'm a little bit lost. We're going to dive. We're going to hash this all out. Yes. We have Michael Babcock.
Tons going on. We got Michael Babcock is going to be joining us in a few minutes. We have St. Patrick's Day in effect, and we have Election Day
and Lollapalooza
in effect. Lollapalooza.
Yep.
The announcement, the lineup, and before we get to anything, we have to check in with one of our field reporters, who is out at the voting super site downtown this election day. I'm curious about turnout in this midterm here. So, Saquon, can you hear us okay? Back here in studio, I hear some background noise.
Maybe she's playing press.
Maybe that's a good sign for turnout, that Say can't hear us. Because there's just so many people. She could be.
She could be voting herself.
But we have a lot of up for grabs spots where there's no incumbent, Caitlin. I mean, we have Senator Durbin is retiring, so he's not running for re-election. So we have 3 individuals vying for his spot, and a couple of them have vacated their own congressional seats to run for the Senate spot. And then, of course, we have Juliana Stratton, the lieutenant governor, who Governor Pritzker has endorsed. So we're keeping an eye on all of those races. Crowded field.
You have until what, 7 p.m. to vote?
7 p.m. And then, Caitlin, it's sunny outside. It's cold. But it doesn't feel like the weather today is going to have too big of an impact.
No, I don't think so. I can give you a little forecast while we wait to see if Say is available. Looking out the window here, it is gorgeous. We've got blue sky over the city. Temperatures today, they're going to be cold. Anthony was talking about how it's going to be uncomfortably cold. Highs today are going to be in the mid-20s. This morning we had wind chills below 0. So a chilly start, yes, but overall a quiet forecast. Tonight we have more snow expected, so we could see a dusting to about an inch of snowfall into tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night we have the chance for rain. But then, Anthony, Friday through the weekend, we're talking about highs in the 50s and 60s.
Nice.
So it's going to be fantastic.
How about sunshine / lack of sunshine for those for the weekend days?
Partly to mostly sunny skies.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So today it's cold, but it's that deceiving sunshine. So make sure you have your sunglasses and that thicker jacket from start to finish.
The incoming snowfall, Caitlin, for tomorrow night, is it going to be capped at an inch? Like, do you think that's the most that it would be possible?
I don't think we're going to get a lot.
And then it'll all melt away when it rains.
As the day,
because I'm hoping this is, fingers crossed, that this is like the last gasp of winter. Kind of coughs on its way down.
Can we talk about what we discussed this morning? St. Patrick's Day and leprechauns visiting homes.
Oh, yes. You had to.
The first year that my family has been visited by a leprechaun. My kids.
You set up a trap?
We did, out of a shoebox. It was definitely not the best.
Yep.
But my kids came home from school yesterday and said, we made leprechaun traps at school. And I said, you did what? What are we doing? And so then I was told we needed to make a leprechaun trap at my house. So got a shoebox out of the closet, got some markers. The kids went to town. And here's the issue. I think my kids actually caught the leprechaun this morning. I came to work today and heard that leprechauns usually aren't caught.
They're elusive.
So
they're very elusive.
My family was the only one I think that's would have caught the leprechaun in the box.
We had a conundrum a couple years ago when my child did the same thing. They had a leprechaun trap building unit
Yeah,
at
sure.
school.
Yes.
And then he decided he wanted to set up cameras overnight. Oh my gosh. Hey, we're hearing from the peanut gallery. Charlie XCX, as predicted, will be headlining one night at Lala, along with Tate McRae. She's the Canadian artist, right?
Yeah.
I knew something. I knew something. Lord, the New Zealander.
Yeah, the New Zealander. Olivia Dean.
Olivia Dean. This is coming to us in real time.
John Summit, Chicago native.
John Summit, Chicago native.
Jenny from K-pop world.
K-pop. Jenny.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Billy Corgan. Smashing Pumpkins are going to be performing?
Are the headliners.
Okay.
What was the other one? The last
Andy
one?
XX?
The XX.
The XX. I don't know if I know the XX. Okay. So those are the highlights. We're going to run through the whole thing. Selena Fergasi is going to run us through. Okay.
And we are joined now by
Good. Good.
TMZ. Michael Babcock. We're getting the lineup for Lollapalooza this summer.
As we speak, you guys have Coachella out there. We have Lollapalooza back here. Michael Babcock, can you hear us okay, sir? There he is.
There we go.
Hey.
We're getting Lollapalooza lineup right now.
As we speak, yeah. We heard
How's
Lord
it
is going to be here. Charlie XCX and Smashing Pumpkins are going to be playing.
Okay, all right, good. So we're covering a wide kind of vast generations here. I like
completely. And you know, I was saying before you came on, we've got Lollapalooza out here. You got Coachella, not far from LA. Have you ever been to Coachella?
I have not. I think I'm too old. I feel too old for that
Aged
now. But it is the biggest thing. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't want to go in the desert and be around like just a swarm of people and stay out there for like 3 days. It doesn't appeal to me, but I'll tell you what, everybody in this room they're probably going to attack me. Everybody in this room is going to Coachella.
They want to go to Coachella.
I'll
be here,
Coachella or Lollapalooza or what is the other one? Burning Man?
Burning Man.
Right.
I don't know, what would you say in terms of coolness, Michael?
Coolness. Gosh, I don't know. Is Coachella the cool? I think the coolest is whatever festival has the musicians that you like the most.
That's true.
Amen,
That's true.
Michael.
You know, that's true.
I think that would be what I would say.
Years ago, I would have said Burning Man, but I've heard, I've never been to Burning Man, but I've heard it's kind of gone corporate.
That might be. I have never been to any of them. Obviously, I'm familiar with all three, and I know all three have really big acts. But yeah, I can't say I've ever been to either of them. So I am definitely not an expert on the topic.
Lollapalooza is the coolest. So
there you go.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down for that.
Yeah. All right.
Michael, we are going to dive into a couple topics here. The first one we want to ask you about is, and the ladies were trying to explain it to me today about, I'm not a big reality TV guy, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. There's some big controversy going on regarding one of the stars of this show. Get us up to speed. What's going on here?
I mean, it's potentially a really sad situation, honestly, because there is a 2-year-old kid at the center of this controversy here. But as far as being a popular reality show, it really is one of the hits right now on Hulu, and people love the show in its 5th season. And you've got these two people. You've got Taylor, who is the mom, and you've got Dakota, who is the dad, and their relationship is really one of the central focuses of the show. Production has been shut down, and it's strange because you say to yourself, okay, a reality show is filming, they want drama. That's exactly what they're looking for. That's what brings eyeballs to the TV or to the screen, and they should want drama. But in this case, it has seemingly gone too far. There have been allegations of not just spousal abuse and going both ways. So whereas Taylor says that Dakota was abusive and Dakota says the same thing about Taylor being abusive, not just the spousal abuse allegations, but also allegations of child abuse. And again, they've got a child who is not even 2 years old. The baby boy is turning 2 this week. So production shut down. And there there are a lot of still unanswered questions here. Why did it shut down is one of the questions. If you listen to people who are close to Mom, Taylor, she'll say it's because Dakota disappeared. He just went MIA, and if he's not there, how do they film the show he stars on? You talk to sources from the show, and they will tell you, no, that's not true, that the rest of the cast and crew was uncomfortable with some of the things that had been alleged, and they don't want to work with them right now. So because of that, they were taking a little bit of a break. So the bottom line is they have both accused each other of doing really bad things, and because of that, their reality show is on hold right now. Maybe even more shocking or complicating, I should say, is that Taylor is the Bachelorette on this upcoming season. So she is going to have all of these men who are, competing for her love and attention. That's going to air in a couple days here on ABC. And obviously, whoever ultimately wins that show is walking into a heck of a complicated situation at home with her ex and with her child.
That is so awful. I'm surprised that they're still going to do The Bachelorette with the child abuse allegations.
Right. You know what I think it might be? I think it's that it hasn't aired yet, but they've already filmed it. And I think a lot of this information is now just coming to light. Is it true or not? I think obviously she's not been convicted. It's just an allegation. But I think the bottom line is that likely ABC didn't know about a lot of this stuff or any of this stuff when they cast her. And now the show's already done. Now it's just going to air. So, it's a complicated situation, to say the least.
Would there be any chance that ABC, I mean, you said it's already in the can. Yeah. Would there be any chance that they pause the thing or decide not to air it? Or is this, like you said, just going to draw more eyeballs for it and it's actually good?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Anthony. I don't know. I think they would definitely not want to. But if, could I sit up here and say that if things got so bad or if these allegations kept coming out where they might be forced into making a decision like that, obviously they don't want to do it. They spend a lot of money on these shows, and nobody wants to end up shooting a show and editing a show and then never airing that show. Yeah. So I would think it's unlikely that it happens. But the bottom line is here that you've got the Child Protective Services in Utah that's involved. Both of them have been ordered to undergo a psych evaluation, and we'll see what the results of that ultimately end up being. But this is obviously not good anytime you're talking about domestic violence. But then when you also, inject your son and his well-being into this, that's when it gets even more serious. To say, to state the obvious.
Well, let's change topics here to Banksy. Yeah. Banksy's identity has finally been revealed. What is going on?
Robert Cunningham is apparently Banksy's name. So this was a mystery that's been decades and decades in the making. People have for years been trying to identify the famed street artist. I'm sure people, if you haven't seen his work, you've probably at least heard that name before. Well, And look, that name has been thrown out there in the past. In 2008, as a matter of fact, there was an outlet that identified Banksy as that same name. But Reuters has now put together what seemingly is a very comprehensive investigation. And they said that, that is his name. In fact, they say that in 2008, because people were on his trail, on Banksy's trail, that he changed his name to the most common name that he could think of, David Jones. So he goes by David Jones now. He is apparently or reportedly from a town called Bristol in England. For many years, Banksy was thought of as potentially being the front man to a famous band that was actually from that area. That has been debunked, not the case, but it is very possible that one of the most probably the most famous street artist of all time has now finally been identified. His attorney didn't say that the story was right or wrong, only said some of the details in the report we don't agree with. So does that mean that he's saying it's not true or not? I don't know. I think he's picking his language very carefully there.
I don't know if I like this or not. There's so much appeal to him remaining a mystery. And the mystery is key to his brand. So what do you see happening here? Because we don't have a face for the name, right?
Right. I think, and that's really important. So at least he's got that going for him now, in that we've just got two names. But yeah, I think that is a big part of it. A big part of his appeal is not knowing who this person was. I mean, if you've seen any of his work and just the enormous amounts of money that they've sold for, you remember that one painting that it sold at auction, and then he had hidden a paper shredder inside the piece of artwork, and it shredded itself partially after it was sold. That sold for over $20 million, and he's got multiple pieces of work that have just sold for astounding prices. And I wonder if this changes that at all.
Wait, back it up. So he got paid $20 million for that piece of art?
Yeah. That destroyed itself right when it was unveiled.
So someone knows who he is and who his identity is and where his bank account information is.
That's what we want.
Stuff.
We want his ATM password.
Yeah, right, exactly. But he shredded it. I didn't hear that story.
It's wild. Wow.
He's got a bunch of really cool things, like pieces like that.
I love it.
Michael, as always, thank you, sir, for keeping us updated.
Bye, guys. I hope the rest of the lineup's great.
Thank you so much for keeping posted. All right, Michael. Thanks so much. Wow, Banksy.
We got to get like a documentary about him out.
I don't know, maybe I'll put it at 85%. That there was a Banksy on the wall, on one of the walls on West Randolph Street. It was a staircase going up, a spray painted staircase and into a door. But I'll confirm that. But
was that you with the stencil out
there?
The
stencil. No, but is it like he's got this mystery? There's some videos and he's dressed in all black, and I just wonder what's going to happen to his career now that there's actual name.
He's on Instagram, probably.
Yeah, he is on Instagram.
Oh.
He is.
Oh.
But again, it's under Banksy.
It's Banksy.
It's under Banksy. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Before we take a break, we are checking in with Saquon, who joins us live from the voting super site in downtown Chicago with an update on how this primary election day is going so far. Say, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, good morning to you guys. It's been kind of a steady morning, I will say. I feel like we're starting to see more voters kind of line up and get here. Obviously, they want to cast their ballots, of course. We've seen people kind of voting in different ways as well. Some people come in here, actually a lot of folks. This morning we saw them coming here to register and vote on the same day. We've also seen people just dropping off their vote by mail ballots as well. So we've seen a pretty steady stream of people coming on in here, and I do expect that to pick up here closer to noon when it's lunchtime for a lot of these folks who work downtown. Guys.
Okay, Saquon, keep us posted. Thank you for the update there. We are going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, we are going to be speaking with a certified advanced Ayurvedic nutritionist and author about some secret sources of inflammation that we're going to want to avoid. That's coming up right after this break.
is almost 10:20, and we are talking about inflammation in your body and how there's so many ways that your diet can lead to inflammation in sneaky ways too. Brain fog, weight gain, digestive issues, poor sleep are all clues that you might have inflammation going on in your body. So joining us this morning is Nidya Pandya. She's a certified advanced, did I pronounce that wrong? Sorry, Nidhi Pandya. She's a certified advanced Ayurvedic nutritionist and author of Your Body Already Knows. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can we talk first about what inflammation is exactly in simple terms?
Yeah, I'm going to make it super simple, right? So every time that your body undergoes a threat, let's just say there's an injury or a threat of any sort within the body, basically what happens is that it starts sending inflammatory, inflammation signaling pathways to that area called cytokines, and then the body goes into an inflammatory response. To explain it very simply, I say it's global warming inside the body. Anytime that it loses its homeostasis and it needs to repair something, it has to start generating inflammation. Inflammation is very healthy when it's for short term and it's for repair. So if you meet with a car accident or something, you have a surgery, inflammation is great. You have fever, it comes so that it can start repair. But if it has to be in repair mode the entire time, that is when it becomes a problem.
Why does the body continue to be inflamed in spots even after the healing has, that temporary phase you just mentioned, it has subsided?
Yeah. So the problem is that the way we're living our lives today, right? And if we went back to 300 years ago and we lived the way our ancestors did, chances are that we'll only be experiencing this level of inflammation when we're aging. Right? So back in the day, it used to be called inflammaging. But the lifestyles that we have today and the foods that we eat, including the fact that we are now a planet which has electricity on it, so the disruption of the circadian rhythms, all of these together lead to active, constant, low-grade inflammation, which means that the body is always fighting some level of stress inside. And when it does that, it has never gotten a chance to repair. Now, there are certain behaviors that can cause it. There are certain foods that can cause it. And if you want, we can go through all of them as well.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So what are the big ones?
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the big foods that people often miss, which can create inflammation. Now, we know that seed oils, we've heard these days that refined seed oils create inflammation in the body. But I'd like to break that down a little bit. Okay. Refined seed oils in the body are like fossil fuels on the planet. We know what fossil fuels do. They create global warming. They create this toxic waste which cannot be thrown out. Similarly, seed oils, which are rich in omega-6, which is kind of shifts the balance in the body towards inflammation. And what happens is that oxidative stress in the body increases. And that is one of the biggest causes of inflammation. But there are a couple of other food habits that can create this. If you eat sugar, even if it's natural sugar, but the frequency, right? And I think people want to be very careful understanding this, the frequency with which you eat sugar kind of changes the way your body responds to insulin, which means the more times you eat sugar, the more insulin in your bloodstream, the more frequent this insulin uptake in your bloodstream, your body tends to stay in an inflammatory. It triggers an inflammatory response. So if you ate sugar, just say once a day, you balanced it well with fiber and alongside whole foods, it wouldn't have the same impact as having small amounts of sugar even throughout the day. So the frequency makes a difference. Even when you buy healthy foods, sometimes you'll see so-called healthy foods, you'll see words like emulsifiers and additives. I mean, really, the ingredients that you're looking for are gums, lecithins, carrageenan. Again, they activate immune response in the body because the body recognizes them as foreigners. And the body's like, hey, this is a foreigner, I need to respond. And that's what creates. But the last, in terms of the foods that I'll say, which often get missed, are cold foods. When you are drinking cold water throughout the day, or you are consuming cold beverages, eating cold foods, basically your gut needs a warmer environment to be able to metabolize. When you constantly eat cold foods, it affects the gut fermentation patterns, which is very important. When it does that, the microbiome in the gut is affected. When the microbiome in the gut is affected, the regulation of inflammation doesn't happen elsewhere. And in that case, people they tend to stay with a low-grade inflammatory response in their body. And that low-grade inflammation can sometimes be more dangerous than even, a short-term, strong inflammatory response in the body.
Wow.
There are also certain behaviors which are just often missed, which I find very interesting for people to talk about. And I see this with my clients, especially those who consider themselves very healthy. If you're eating in a stressed state, your body goes into what we call the sympathetic mode. You're not digesting your food, your microbiome and your gut gets affected, but more than anything, your blood now is on a full-blown inflammation. Stress leads to inflammation. If you're working out excessively, if you're doing the morning HIIT class and you're running in the evening and you think it's doing great things for your body, you'll have elevated cortisol levels throughout the day, especially if you work out in the evening, you'll have elevated cortisol levels. Cortisol levels increased through activity or stress means inflammation in the body is going to increase because the body feels like it's under threat. Similarly, when you have poor sleep cycles, you think you're nocturnal. Nobody in the world is nocturnal. Our ancestors, before they had electricity, everybody was sleeping when the sun sets a few hours after that. Nobody sat with oil lamps. If you stay up late every night, night after night, it's known to be directly linked to this increase in CRP, which is a primary inflammatory marker in the body. So these are behaviors that often get missed, especially when you look at, cities like New York, where I live, or Chicago, or people are just always active and on the go. So their bodies are in a constant state of low-grade inflammation.
Wow. Okay. So sleep well. Maybe work out in the morning. Do you avoid ice water?
I never drink ice water.
Okay.
I'm personally sitting with my hot thermos.
Room temperature or hot? Okay. And then what are some of the, going back to the seed oil thing, what are the most common seed oils that we need to be aware of?
I would say it's usually a mixture of a few when you look at them, but you'll see canola oil, you'll see a lot of veg. So basically what you're looking for, the word refined. The minute you see the word refined, which means heat has been touched to the oil, any type of oil. The fact that it's refined, it's fossil fuel in the body. It's waste that your body doesn't know what to do with. It's going to increase what we call oxidative stress.
Yeah. Let's talk about sugar too, because sugar is an issue. If someone is watching who loves Pepsi or Coke, heavy sugar, is the diet version or the Coke Zeros, is that better, or sugar-free syrups for your coffee, is that better than sugar to get that inflammation going?
I'm so glad you asked that question. That is probably worse than regular sugar. So I tell people you want to have sugar, have cane sugar, have small amounts of honey when it's done right. But artificial sources of sugar are absolutely foreigners to the body. The body will generate a response to any food which it does not identify, which is made in a laboratory. And that can lead to a stronger inflammation response for a lot of people.
Ooh. What about the healthier sugars like the stevias? Is that a good option?
I will tell you, stevia has just become another form. It's another processed sweetener, right? Because we think it comes from a plant. Listen, even sugar comes from a plant. It comes from sugar cane, right? Everything can come from a plant. So stevia is just as processed the way it's being sold these days. But plus stevia doesn't do some of the other things that sugar is required to do. So if you have natural forms of sugar, they can actually have some benefit in your body when you combine them right and you do them right and you don't do them with an increased frequency. But things like stevia, and when you look at the Ayurvedic wisdom, they can be very drying in the body. So they can activate the nervous system even well. So while they can activate inflammation, they can also unnecessarily activate the nervous system and keep it that way for a long time.
Wow. So what would you recommend, Nidhi, in terms of getting a little bit detoxed from some of these inflammatory foods or inflammatory lifestyle choices? What can we do to de-inflame our bodies?
So, I'll say, just to make it simple for people, I think a few things that you want to do is use good spices in your meals. Good spices are not spicy foods. Good spices means anything that you can find in the spice aisle of the grocery store, but it's not spicy. So you want to use good spices and like ginger, like turmeric, like cinnamon, like cumin, and they are antioxidants, a lot of these spices, which means they're going to come and they're going to neutralize free radicals. Free radicals, think of free radicals like these villains that are hanging out, like these really hot inflammatory villains that are hanging out around the body, which eventually can cause autoimmune disease, cancer, etc. These are unwanted gunk in the system. And spices help to neutralize that gunk in the system. So I'd say add spices to your meals. Don't do the turmeric shots. Don't do that's too hot for your body. But simple, just like easiest way to do this. But wake up in the morning, have half a cup of hot water with a little bit of ginger powder, a pinch or two of ginger powder. And the third thing that you can do is give up cold beverages. You know, when you want to drink water, drink at room temperature, eat an early dinner, and go to bed as much on time as you possibly can. Whenever you have the option, pick the early time. Whenever you have the option, pick the early dinner. Let your body restore its circadian rhythms, because that's when the body starts to feel safe. When the body starts to feel safe, it upgrades its own repair mechanisms. And once that happens, you can tackle inflammation much easier.
I love that. I've noticed too, like, for example, people who work shift hours, like overnights, it's a common thing where they start to gain weight. And I'm sure, to your point, if you're not on that consistent sleep schedule, your body feels like it's in danger, and then the inflammation goes through the roof.
Exactly. And you know, when you said that word, that's exactly what it is. Inflammation is what your body does to respond to any type of threat or danger. And when your body has these high cortisol levels because you're not sleeping, I mean, that's your body saying something's wrong. I mean, this is not how I was supposed to live. This was not how my body was designed to live. So if the body's staying up late, let's get its army ready and let's be like awake and activated, and that's what really inflammation is.
This may be a silly question, but is ibuprofen good to take to fight inflammation? I mean, isn't it an anti-inflammatory? Like, would it be healthy to just like mix in a couple of ibuprofen as, you know, daily just to cut down on it? Or am I mistaken?
I tell you, when we look at things like ibuprofen, they can work well for acute inflammation, which means you have a back injury, you've gone through surgery, and your body has this active inflammation, which is just beyond the low-grade inflammation. But the truth is, your body also has to metabolize these drugs. So it's funny when I say this, but it also creates inflammation in many other ways. It'll create a low-grade inflammation to fight off an acute inflammation. It's not something that you want to rely on to fight low-grade inflammation, because your liver will still have to respond, metabolize that ibuprofen, identify it as a foreign substance, but say that right now there's so much of an emergency in a certain site because there was a surgery or an accident, that you got to get everybody. Like it's like you're bringing on your enemies also to help, because you're like, okay, we all need to do this together, you know. But medication can also lead to inflammation.
Got it.
And my goal is not to scare people, but to tell everybody that, listen, if you just add some spices, consume warm foods, not very difficult. Try and make those early dinner choices when you can. Try and make early bedtime choices when you can. Start there so you can start to upgrade your body's detox and repair mechanisms.
Common sense. It makes sense. All right, Nidhi Pandya, thank you so much. She is the author of Your Body Already Knows. We appreciate your expertise this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but hey, we alluded to it earlier. We got a couple of the highlights. The Lollapalooza lineup has just dropped, and we're going to run through all the highlights with Selena Fergasi, music critic for the Chicago Sun-Times, when we come back.
10:36 just about. Okay, all you cool cats going to Lollapalooza. We have the lineup. It's been released, and we are joined by the coolest girl that comes on the show, Selena Fragasi. She's breaking down the lineup, the biggest names, and maybe some of the lesser-known folks, artists, who are also going to be phenomenal. Good morning, Selena.
You guys today?
We're good. We are good. Your audio cut out there for a second, but I think we got you loud and clear now. All right,
okay.
Selena, run us through some, before we get to the lesser-known titles, who are some of the biggest names that are going to be taking the stage in Grand Park this summer?
So you know what? This lineup this year has so much female force again. There's so much feminine energy. I'm so excited. So at the very, very top, we have headliners like Charli XCX, Tate McRae, Lorde, Olivia Dean, who was just named the Grammy winner for Best New Artist this year. We have Jennie representing the K-pop. She's part of Blackpink, but has an incredible solo career. And then we have the Smashing Pumpkins from Chicago, Chicago's finest. So I'm stoked.
This is great. Okay, so which one of these were the biggest surprise? These artists, the headliners.
Yeah, you know, sometimes we did a story about predictions, so some of these weren't surprises. I knew almost for a fact that Lorde and Olivia Dean were going to be there. I think because Lorde has been on the festival circuit, Olivia Dean just seemed obvious to me. I think some of the surprises, though, I wasn't expecting Jennie. I was wondering who they might do for K-pop this year, because they've had so many great acts before, and of course BTS is doing a world tour, so I was very interested. I think Jennie's going to be great, and the Pumpkins I did not see coming either. They haven't really had a ton of new material lately, but they're great. And the really cool thing about the Pumpkins is that Youngblood is also playing, who's a great up-and-coming rocker from the UK, but he and the Smashing Pumpkins have a collaborative song together called Zombie. And I bet they're going to, if they're on the same day, I bet they're going to do it together.
You know what I'm just noticing here, Selena? Wet leg.
Oh, right.
You get your heads up on this band. They're awesome. I checked out the Adina has checked it out. So tell us a little bit about Wet Leg. Refresh our memories here.
Yes, they were one of my concert highlights back in September. They did QN1's Twisted Christmas, a duo out of the UK. They are just fire pots. They're like this post-punk, aggressive energy, very sardonic, sarcastic lyrics. They are so much fun. They're going to be great on the Lolla stage.
I've got a huge crush on the lead singer, by the way. Huge crush.
Oh.
Yes. That's just a side note.
All right.
Continue.
Anyways,
continue.
The other up-and-comers on that list, obviously we have a ton of artists that are coming to town. So who else should we be keeping eyes on?
So the other one we brought up just a few weeks ago when I was on talking about March picks, her name is Sienna Spiro. So she just played Lincoln Hall. She, to me, is the new Adele. She is absolutely phenomenal. I definitely recommend checking her out. Eka Vandal's another one who I'm really excited about. She is from Sri Lanka, Australia. She has a really cool punk rock vibe to her, kind of like MIA a little bit. She's really good. So I recommend her. Wonder Horse is coming back this year. They were supposed to play last year, but there was illness in the band. They're a really good guitar rock band out of the UK. So I think there's just so many really good undercards here. You even have Cruz Beckham, who Victoria and David Beckham's son. I didn't even know he had a music act, so he's going to be there.
That is wild, and he's been involved in some drama with this. He's the one, or no, that's Brooklyn.
No, yeah.
Is that? Oh, it's the other one. Okay.
I can't even imagine what Cruz looks like. That's fun. Well, maybe we'll see David Beckham and Posh Spice.
There you go. Now, you mentioned Sienna Spiro. I'm kind of curious, what year was it when Chapel Rowan made her big splash? Was that 2 years ago or 1 year ago?
That was 2 years. Yeah, 24.
That was 2 years ago. So who is going to be the Chapel Rowan of this year? Is it going to be Sienna Spiro or one of these others? Any dark horse candidates to like really splash onto the scene?
Yeah, we had Chapel in 24. We had Doechii last year. So that is a hard call. I think it might be Olivia Dean.
Okay.
Olivia Dean.
Okay.
So fun. Are we hearing like these songs? Is there any way that we could hear these songs, I don't know, in certain shows or different, you know, we've got the K-pop going on with Jennie. Any particular spot that we could be hearing some of these artists?
That's a great question. I'm sure they have some syncs in some TV shows right now, but there's 5 Seconds of Summer, who people may remember as like that pop rock kind of band. They're going to be there. I'm just looking at the lineup right now. You have Geese. I don't think they have any placements, but they're really great too. They're actually a very controversial band right now, so I am excited to see what people think of them after this performance.
Not to be confused with Goose.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Goose, the jam band, Geese, New
Not so
York,
much.
Brooklyn, Rockers.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's
Chicago
see.
bands too.
What do there's a huge lineup here. I'm looking way down on it. I see like the Chicago Youth Symphony Orchestra. Can you give us any insight into kind of how these lineups come together?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I would say that some of these artists are already on the festival circuit. They're playing Coachella. Lorde is at, I'm blanking, but she's at another festival right now. So sometimes they just buy into these packages. But I will say Lala has a lot of one-offs here that I haven't seen on other festival lineups. I haven't seen Tate McRae anywhere. I haven't seen Jenny anywhere. I haven't seen Smashing Pumpkins. So they do a really good job of curating this with a lot of one-offs and new bands, a lot of really great up-and-comers. There's about 20 bands just on the small fine print that I cannot wait to see this summer.
What are you seeing from this list? What is popular? What kind of music is popular in 2026?
Pop, for sure. I mean, you can look at all just the headliners this year are just really in the pop realm, from Lorde to Charlie to Tate McRae. There were some surprises for me. I'm surprised there's no country this year because they had a big showing with Luke Combs last year, the first time a country artist headlined. So I'm a little surprised. I thought maybe Jelly Roll would be there this year. And we're also not seeing a big like Latina or Latino headliner. Normally we've had that as well. I was thinking it could have been Karol G, or in some other worlds maybe Bad Bunny, but he's a little too big now, I think, for Lala.
Big for Lala. Oh no. What is your advice? Okay, when people start kind of getting their thoughts together about tickets, do you recommend doing the 3-day thing? What do you recommend in terms of how to approach the whole ticket issue? Because I know it can be kind of stressful for folks.
Well, buy early, first of all, because Lala tends to sell out very much in advance. So if you want a guaranteed spot and access to the festival, definitely get those tickets ASAP, especially with how hot this lineup is. I really think they're going to sell it out pretty quickly. I would say, I mean, I always would recommend get the 4-day. It is 4 days. I know it sounds like a lot, but you don't have to be there the entire day. I would say, though, go and make it an a la carte smorgasbord. Really go and check out some of these newer artists. Don't just go for the headliners. Stay if you want to for them, of course. They're all going to be great. But these up-and-comers, they're going to be the headliners of tomorrow. So I think just make it a choose-your-own adventure and have fun.
Selena, can you give us a ballpark price range for these tickets? If you could do like the 4-day pass.
Yeah, I think they're hovering around like $379 or $400. I could be wrong. I actually didn't look at the prices before. I should have. But usually that's like the going rate.
Okay.
Single days, I think, are somewhere around like $150 usually.
Got it.
Now,
Got it.
I'm looking at the same info you guys are that just dropped, literally just the poster here with all the names on them. Is there lag time between the announcement of the lineup and when and where and what stage they're all, like what days they're all playing?
That usually comes out later.
Okay.
So this is, with all the talent on this lineup this year, that's going to be the game of Tetris, trying to figure out how you're going to fit all these pieces together and get from stage to stage. So that will be coming, yeah.
Okay, Selena, thank you very much for kind of breaking this down for us,
very exciting.
sharing your observations. We really appreciate it, and we'll be checking back in with you when the actual schedule drops, and then we can maybe dive in a little bit more. We always appreciate your time.
Thanks, you guys. You too. Have a great day.
Yeah, come back in
Bye.
person next time. Okay, Trad Wives.
Trad Wives.
Trad Wives.
Traditional wives. We are diving in with an author to talk about this trad wife trend that's all over social media.
Yes.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
She has written a book.
Yeah.
It's called Up, the Playbook for Every Woman on the Rise, and she's going to be joining us right after this short break. Kelly Mooney. Stay with us.
Welcome back. It is 10:46. The trad wife trend. If you haven't heard, there's something going around on social media. Hashtag trad wife. And joining us this morning is Kelly Mooney, the author of Up, the Playbook for Every Woman on the Rise, to break down this trad wife thing that's going on the interwebs. Good morning to you, Kelly. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Can you first describe what the trad wife is?
The trad wife. Some people call it a trend. Some people call it a movement. I think of it as a social media subculture. It's essentially when women are choosing a lifestyle based on ideology, where she's essentially doing all the homemaking and he's the breadwinner, and she is submissive to him, playing a supportive role, really hearkening back to decades ago, some could argue centuries ago. So that's the trad wife as we know it today.
Is there a like derogatory connotation to the phrase? Like would women who do take on that role by choice and enjoy taking on that role, kind of as the stay-at-home mother, not the breadwinner, the more traditional model, would they self-refer? Like, would they refer to themselves as trad wives, or is there something inherently like negative about it? I just am not so familiar with the phrase.
Well, I don't know that we have to judge it as positive, negative, but I think that there's some distinctive qualities about it, and we shouldn't confuse a trad wife with a stay-at-home mom, because a stay-at-home mom, which is about 25% of moms, are really staying home because they need to, whether it's childcare is too expensive or workplaces are too inflexible, and it works better for their family. They're typically not curating a brand; they're playing a role for their family. Where a trad wife is really curating a brand on social media. And so I think that's a different thing. They're focused on creating all this content and dressing in vintage or traditional clothing. And quite honestly, typically abdicating financial control of the household to the man, which is really the risky proposition here.
Let me rephrase. Do those folks who you just described, do they want to be called trad wives?
You know, some do.
Okay.
Some self-describe as trad wives, but some actually avoid the label. One of the most famous ones out there actually avoids the label, but is actually existing in that way.
Why do you think that this is an attractive lifestyle for women right now?
I mean, I think that there's an allure to it. There's a focus on family. There's a pushback on overworking. Maybe it's putting more value on domestic labor. So, I mean, some of those things are wonderful. I think that it's also considered the soft life. And so there's a real push for women to consider the soft life. And as you know, after recovering from COVID and dealing with expensive childcare and inflexible workplaces and the stress of doing it all, there's an allure to it. But I think that the short-term comfort might be one thing, but the long-term risk is an entirely different thing when you abdicate your financial independence and you start relying on somebody to be in total control of all the finances, the taxes, the insurance, the passwords, and all the things that control a household economically. That's really where the risk comes in.
Got it. So you've written a book. It's called Up, the playbook for every woman on the rise. What is your message in this book with regard or kind of relative to this whole trad wife trend?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we really realized, my sister and I wrote this book together, is that women are struggling to build a career and have a personal life. And it doesn't have to be an either or proposition. And a lot of women are struggling with, well, how do I do it? How do I stand up for what I want? How do I negotiate for what I need? And how do I navigate a workplace that wasn't designed for me? And so a lot of what we've learned over decades in the workplace, but also consulting with experts all over the world, we really wanted to create a playbook to help women really get what matters to them, not having it all, but having what matters to them, and having the strategies and the step-by-step guidance for doing that. And I think a lot of women don't have the guidance, don't have the coaching, don't have the mentoring to know how to do it. So they just maybe throw up their hands and say, you know, I'll just stay at home. And while that's a choice, it might not necessarily be the best choice for the long term.
So this book is really geared to women who have a career, also want to perhaps have a family life. They want to do both, not the women who are choosing to stay home.
I mean, it could ultimately help those women, because I think women who decide to stay home, there are strategies for them to stay engaged, whether it's part-time, to be doing charitable work that keeps their skills fresh. Because what happens is that happily ever after isn't always the case. Circumstances change, spouses get sick, they lose their jobs, some of them die. 1 million women in the US end up as widows each year. And so if you are all of a sudden confronted with, now you have to fend for yourself, do you have the skills and the marketability to be able to do that? And so I think that stay-at-home moms can make that choice, but I would always guide them, and the book has suggestions for how to, you know, don't pull away entirely so that you're putting your life at risk.
Yeah, it sounds like this book gives readers the tools to kind of take inventory of what exactly they are looking for with regard to the balance between pursuing, you know, a full-time career, pursuing motherhood, all that kind of thing. Can you pick out a couple of highlights to get to organize our thinking on this? Let's say you're a young woman, perhaps in your early 20s, you're considering whether to get married and have kids, and considering questions about your immediate future. What can you tell us about how you want your readers to frame their thinking?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I think what the book is arguing is that there isn't one way for anyone. It's no longer just the corporate ladder up, or have a career and have a family and they have to exist in the same intensity all the time. Really, the book is trying to help people be more self-aware and more intentional. I think women spend a lot of time, it's easier worrying about and caring for other people than really reflecting on, who am I and what do I need and what do I want? So the book helps women articulate their values, identify them, and then articulate them, and then figure out how to live your life according to your values. Understanding, you know, what your strengths are, learning that a strength is not a competency, learning how to navigate a complex workplace, how to ask for a raise, when to do it, how to do it, what is the tone, what is the timing, and recognizing that careers are going to span 50 years. So you don't have to do everything now. You can do it at your pace, and that careers take many shapes and you can do it your way.
I know we keep saying women and wives. My husband's actually a stay-at-home dad. Would this book be good for men as well?
Well, it's an interesting question, because some people have read my content and my newsletter that comes out every week, and they say this is really helpful for men too, which is great. And maybe it is, and maybe it can be. It wasn't the intention for the book, because all the people we interviewed, the stories we tell, are all the stories for women. But we welcome men to get a benefit from this as well.
Okay.
I am seeing here, Kelly, is it true you have 8 siblings?
It is true.
That is insane. Okay, so you and your sister co-authored this book. You know, childhood for you was watching your mom, understand she was a stay-at-home mom, raise 9 kids. What was your takeaway from that, and how did that play into your approach to this book?
Yeah, well, I think that being one of, one of nine in a big family, you learn to observe. And I observed my mom mostly in the laundry room, where she did about 25 loads of laundry a week, and in the kitchen, where she prepared 20 meals per week, only 2 on Sunday, if you're wondering. And she never really complained, and so I would never want to speak for her. She's deceased now, but my observation is that she felt trapped. Now, she'd never let go of the money. She always managed the books and managed the money in the household. But when I watched her, I really realized, like, I wanted economic freedom. I wanted to have a lot of choices in my life. And so at 10 years old, I got my first paper route, and that's when my economic freedom began. And I've been working and enjoying working ever since.
That is so interesting. We joke about how I want 35 children. I've got 3 and I could have 10 more. I think we're done. But to have 9 kids in a family, and that is your takeaway. I mean, that's important. That's a good story to tell. So if there are women out there who are interested in your book, where should they find it? Where should they read more? Are you posting on social media or a website? Do you have like a column?
Thank you for asking. So I post most of my content on LinkedIn, and you can find me there, on our website at equippedwomen.com. And the book is available for pre-sales now on Amazon, so you can find it there.
Nice.
Very good. We appreciate your time, and thank you for educating us on parsing out this new
life
phrase, because
I didn't know.
I've seen it thrown around. I didn't know if it was trade wife. I didn't know anything about it. So thank you, Kelly. Really appreciate it. And good luck with the book. I hope it sells big time. And that is going to wrap it up for Caitlin and me. I do want to make like, my mom stayed at home, but she was trying to juggle her art career at the same time. So she had like a studio
That's so fun.
in our house, but I always could tell that she was just trying to juggle everything at once. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do anything creative with 3 little kids running around. It was me and my 2 siblings. So I got to hand it to those parents that are juggling both at the same time. It sounds like she gives some good roadmap for how to navigate it.
Yeah, and before the show, we were talking about it, and I said, yeah, I would love to live on a farm and raise cows and babies and stuff. But I didn't realize that the trad wife was more, she said, submissive to the husband. So, and also in traditional wear, like clothing. Yeah,
I have seen some of those. I think the stereotype is like the patterned
smock and
smock dress.
You have like an apron on at all times.
Right.
So I don't know if I'd want to go that far. But
There's a balance. There's a balance. All right, we've got another hour of Chicago Now coming up here, starting at 11 o'clock. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
7 o'clock hour of Chicago Now. All right, it is St. Patrick's Day.
It is St. Patrick's
Primary
Day.
Election Day.
It is primary election day.
It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. You're 3 for 3.
And Jake Hamilton is here.
4 for 4. Look at you. It was a good day.
You know what? I wasn't even greeted with a Manny's Deli sandwich when you came in.
Here's what I'll tell you. I got 3.
Okay.
1 for myself. 1 for our incredible cameraman out there, Sean Gibbons.
That makes sense.
Always feed the crew. And 1 for my girlfriend.
That makes sense. You know what? You gotta
so
be
which
fair.
one of those do you want to steal, Gabby?
You can't take like 12 home. I guess.
Exactly right. Exactly. You know, they had a busy day, and you know, in those situations, you've done that before, where you go out to a live shot, and the whole purpose of the live shot is you're so busy today, when in actuality, the last thing they need is a camera crew behind the scenes messing things up. But
And
they
here
were
we are.
great sports out there. Dan Raskin, 4th generation owner, Jill behind the counter, everyone out there at Manny's. They just they're always good sports.
Can I ask you, are you planning to vote today, or were you able to take advantage of early voting?
Early voting.
Okay, me too. I went yesterday.
Yep.
Luckily, it was right across the street from me, so I didn't have to travel far, because I was like, and no one was there.
Yeah, it was easy.
Because it was
Easy.
like horribly cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, speaking of St. Patrick's Day, we're going to check in with Chief O'Neill's later on
Love
today,
it.
because, or in the show, I should say, they are going to have the Trinity Irish Dancers.
Did you get out and about on Saturday?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, the long pause.
No, I had a lot of fun. And you know what? We were on the river walk, and we were at one of the establishments there, and we had like a ticketed deal where it was like hours, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
chilly.
You guys were the reason that I had to walk all the way around to try to get home, because you know I worked.
Right.
I worked on Saturday morning.
That's true.
And then I live on the other side of the river, and everything, you know, all the bridges were, you know, you couldn't cross the bridges.
And you didn't want to swim across?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't want to be dyed green. And then also, like, I couldn't even, like, go along the river walk to get to an easy place to go around on Lakeshore Drive, so I had to go all the way around.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
So
actually.
you were the reason. I kept telling them, they're like, well, you can't come in and ticket. I was like, I swear I don't want to be here. I just want to go home.
I just want to go home.
Yeah.
After a long day's work.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to have a lot of trending topics to get through, including
some really interesting ones.
Sleeperstitions, slumberstitions.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that term before, but I'm excited to learn.
A whole situation going on with a elected official over in Minnesota, or wants to be an elected official. I think they're running. Anyways, it includes a spider. It's too much. But we have a special guest next
We do. One of my favorite people.
Without further ado.
Not just, and this is wild, that dramatic reveal, not just one of my favorite actors in Chicago, one of my favorite actors working today.
Thank you.
Fair to say, friend of the show, Corey Hendricks?
At this point, fair to say.
Friend of the show, Corey Hendricks. Obviously, you know him from arguably the best show on television, which is The Bear, which I've said for many years.
Yeah.
But also one of the amazing stars of a film that you have to see, Moses the Black. Coming soon to VOD, or available now on VOD?
It's available now on VOD. Yeah.
On VOD. So you want to watch it. You don't even have to leave your couch. You don't even have to put on pants.
No.
And you can watch it.
No pants needed.
No pants needed. There's a good, let's stitch that on a small pillow.
That can work, no pants.
Corey, there's so much we want to talk to you about, but I want to give you a shout out and say thank you again, because you joined myself and Anita Blanton during our New Year's Eve show, live at Tao, which meant that you gave up your New Year's Eve to be with us.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, though. I had a good time.
We had a great time, and what I want to give you a shout out for is that there was a period, correct me if I'm wrong, this is what I heard on the other side of that night. There was a period of time where you were at Navy Pier.
Yeah.
And it was basically impossible at that time of the night to get to Tao, which is not a long distance, but it's not a short distance by any means.
Yeah, especially with that weather.
With that weather, and then with the crowds, is it true that to make our show, you walked from Navy Pier to Tao?
It is true. I walked from Navy Pier to Tao to make it for the segment. I couldn't miss it.
I just think that's worthy of a shout out, because this day and age, whether you're an actor or not, people are often looking for excuses not to show up. And to hear that on New Year's Eve, a night where you could have been doing anything, that you chose to be with us, were presented with what would have been a fair reason to bail. And instead, you still made it work.
I had to make it, man. I couldn't miss it. You guys extended the invitation, so I couldn't just, not show up.
I think, dude, I barely showed up, so I think that's a.
But we were there, man, and we made it work.
We made it
and
work.
It was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
It was all him and Anita. I just
watched
was
it the
there.
next day.
I got a great response from people the next day. I did. People,
I'm
they
so
really
glad.
enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Well, I really wanted to just start with that because I feel like that's a nice scene setter of letting people know, just aside from being an actor, just who you are as a person.
I'm a Chicago actor. I'm a Chicago guy.
See, and don't we hear that though? Like whenever the casting directors go after Chicago actors for that very thing, for exactly what it is that you're talking about.
It's like a born and bred Chicago thing. Blue collar, meat, potatoes. Get it done.
And how recent do you think things have changed? Because yes, we recently heard that. I think I was in an interview with you and you had asked that question. But I like to bring up, like, it seems like to make it in this industry, you have to go to LA, you have to go to New York. But it seems like more people are getting opportunities here in Chicago.
Yeah, like there's been a shift. So not as many projects are being shot in LA. It's more happening everywhere. So the idea now is like, build a name for yourself wherever you are, build a brand, get some credits there, and then if there's work elsewhere, but the world is digital now. It makes everything feel so much smaller. So you can create some things here, build a team, go after the work that's here, and then branch out.
I want to talk about, obviously we're going to have lots of questions about the bear, but I do want to talk about Moses the Black. I want to start out by, on IMDb, they have like a rating. Like if you've seen the movie, you can log on and rate it 1 to 10. A good movie is usually rated about a 7. Some of my favorite movies of all time or between about a 6 and a 6.5.
Really?
Moses the Black, do you have any idea what it is?
I would say a 7.5.
It's an 8.2.
Wow, that's awesome.
8.2 on IMDb.
Okay. That is awesome.
What does that mean when you hear that people not just saw the film, but had that kind of reaction to it?
I think we get that response because it's different than what they may have expected.
Why do you say that?
It's an urban hood film from the trailer. The title, Moses the Black, makes you think, what is that about? But when you watch the trailer, okay, it's the typical like shoot 'em up, bang bang hood film, but it's not. It's really not. It's about a guy coming home from jail, and he has a chance to seek revenge. But it's like, nah, instead of revenge, should I choose redemption? And his story runs parallel with Moses the Black, who was actually a 4th century. He wasn't a saint at first. He was just pretty much a gangster from his time in ancient Egypt. And he died, but before he died, he did some remarkable things, and the Orthodox Church made him a saint because of the redemption at the end of his life. So his story runs parallel in the film with Omar Epps' character. It's 2 guys, in search of redemption instead of revenge. And you don't see that a lot in hood, urban films, or however you want to dress it up,
But see, I love when stories do that when they take, because I had a media professor one time that told me that all movies, all stories basically are biblical or Shakespearean or mythological. It's one of the 3. And I think it's interesting that to that point, the story of a saint from the 4th century can be placed in Chicago.
Modern time,
And it works. It fits. Were you surprised by that?
I was, because before I read the script, I thought it was just a cool title, like Moses the Black. Okay, I'm black, And when I read it, I was like, oh, this is really deep. It's a lot of spiritual connotations to it. It doesn't really beat you over the head with religion, but it's there. It's prevalent throughout the whole film, and it makes sense. It still speaks to what we're going through now in Chicago and probably any urban place right now. So it was really good, and I think that's what catches people off guard. They're like, this is a really good film. It's well acted. It's a really creative film, well shot. The director, Yelena Popovich, she has a way to tell stories, and her team, they know how to get it done, and it's really, really unique. So I think people like it for various reasons. It's like cinematically, the story, the action is really good.
I was going to say the use of different lighting and the use of different camera angles is unlike a lot of things. Even
just that shot right there,
you can kind of see the difference between maybe a
It's a gorgeous film. It really is. It really is.
Let me ask you this: if you saw briefly in the trailer, one of the producers on the film is a name that people might be familiar with. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Whenever he's a producer, does that mean you have access to him? Because producer can mean a lot of things. Sometimes it's the guy who paid for it. Sometimes it's what was his involvement?
Producer is the most ambiguous title.
Yes, it really is.
But 50, no, he was definitely hands-on to a certain extent. I didn't get a chance to meet him. It just so happened the days he came to set, I was out of town doing something else, so I missed.
It's hard not to take that personally.
Man, I was like, what? Who scheduled this?
Honestly, he was probably thinking the same thing. He's like, why does
he's like, I can't meet Corey. I know he wanted to meet me. He had to want to meet me, but I didn't get a chance to meet him. But so many other people did. They got a good response from him. He was there for a few days. Then they had a premiere out in L.A. I didn't make the L.A. premiere. I was filming, but people went out there and hung out with him again. So yeah, I got some really good feedback about 50.
You're too booked and busy, it sounds like.
I mean, it's a good problem to have.
It's a very good problem to have. It's a good problem to have.
I would say so. Is there, without giving too much away, is there one piece of the film that really, truly, sits with you or impacted you? Like when you're reading the script even, or when you're acting it out, that really makes you kind of sit and think?
From this story, it was more so it's a scene I don't want to give away, but there's a Omar Epps character. It's not my character, but Omar Epps' character is having a moment, and it's almost like he's having an anxiety attack. But it's not anxiety. It's like God talking to him in a way. And it was really like reading it. I really couldn't like make it out so much, but once I saw it, I was like, oh wow. So it's really powerful. You have to see the film.
Because I figured it seems even the preview without any audio with it, you could tell that this is a really serious.
So it's a very intense,
emotional story.
Yeah, very intense, very emotional.
I got to ask you, you mentioned when it comes to 50 Cent because he was a producer on it, but you never crossed paths. I'd imagine Wiz Khalifa that you were able to.
Yeah, I met Wiz. I spoke with Wiz. I had scenes with Wiz. Yeah. Wiz is really cool, man.
Here's the question. This is the question I always love asking actors, because someone like Wiz Khalifa, even someone like Omar Epps, because they've been a part of our life for so long, we kind of forget that they're normal, everyday people and that they have phone numbers. Do you have Wiz Khalifa's cell phone number in your phone?
Believe it or not, bro, I don't. I don't.
Do you have Omar Epps?
I don't. I didn't get any good numbers. I'm pretty sure I could get Omar's number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is the biggest person's number you have in your phone?
I would say Lena Waithe.
Wow.
How do you have him saved in your phone? Because I never know, like, is it like a secret name?
I probably should. I'm going to change it now, but it says Lena Waithe. But after this segment, I'll change it.
Oh, man. What happened to Corey's phone?
Yeah.
It slipped through the cracks here at Fox 32.
Take my bag over there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, we got to just really quickly transition to The Bear. They announced not too long ago that this season is going to be the final season of the show.
Yeah, not if I have anything to do with it.
Exactly right. I spoke with Lionel not too long ago, and when he and I spoke, it was for Project Hail Mary, that announcement had not been made yet. And I kind of asked him, hey, we're hearing this, what, and he said, listen, they don't really tell us. So were you surprised by that announcement?
I mean, yeah, because I've been in limbo. Like, you hear so many things. Like, I'm one of the last people to like hear things on The Bear, so I was kind of shocked because the show's successful. It seemed like the studios kind of want to keep it going and whatever, so I'm like, maybe we'll just keep going.
Sure. But there's always that, I'm always the argument of like, while it's still great.
And that's, yeah, so that's also the other chatter. A lot of people are saying, well, look, it's better to end on a high note than to drag a show on for 10, 11, 12 seasons and people hate the last 6,
Right. I mean, like what, Breaking Bad was 5 seasons? Like
that's true.
I feel like that's kind of the perfect example of fire on all cylinders for the entire race rather than putter out for the last quarter mile.
Like, how long do you want people to just...
Yeah, and I can name some TV shows that are like that. How special is it for you to be able to film in Chicago? I mean, compared to all of the other places that you've worked.
And see, that's the blessing. It's like it goes back to your first question when you say you have to move and leave, right? It's not like that anymore. So I'm able to film not only in Chicago, but I'm born and raised on the West Side. We film a lot at CineSpace. CineSpace Studios is on the West Side. I still live on the West Side. So it's like, it's not even a big commute for me to get to work and shoot The Bear.
How much of it was shot at CineSpace versus, because I know you guys do a lot of on-location stuff as well.
It's I would say like probably 80% is shot at CineSpace. It's only on location when location is needed. Like if we're at a restaurant in the city or someone's house or on the street or something like that, or if we actually want to go to the actual Mr. Beef restaurant to get some stuff there. Yeah. But we have so much stuff on the soundstage that we shoot a lot of stuff there.
Is the 5th season done?
I'm really not sure with that either, honestly. Like, I've been filming, but I'm not sure when they're going to be officially like wrap.
So you kind of like, you get your scenes, you get sort of told when you need to show up and you need to be there.
Yeah, because this season, I promise you, I thought we were going to start filming maybe at a certain time.
Sure.
And I went in maybe like a week or 2 before that, just doing like costume stuff. Yeah. And they were like in full like filming.
Oh, really?
And I was like, we're back? They're like, yeah, we're back. Yeah. And I'm like, what the? Like, nobody told me anything. Seriously.
It's like being told, it's like the party starting before you got there.
That's how it goes. Like, I didn't know I was going to become a Somali. I happened to read the script, and I'm like, oh, I'm training to become a...
Wow.
I guess I better start drinking wine. Like,
That's
good
crazy
training
to me because I would think, right, that you would know like the plan like 2 years out.
No, I mean they probably do. I don't. Like,
sure.
But in general, I mean, that's how little I know about your world.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this? Were you able to kind of share with maybe some of your, your co-workers, co-hosts, I don't even know what.
Co-stars.
Co-stars, thank you. Some of the secrets, the greatness of Chicago, some of these great spots.
Yeah. I would. I didn't really go out a lot of places, but I would like recommend places and recommend things to do over time because we've been here for this show 5 years. Jeremy was here doing Shameless off and on for years. Okay. Other actors have passed through doing theater, so some of them are familiar with Chicago to a certain extent. They have friends here, and so they already have their own favorite restaurants they want to go to. And then I can recommend other spots, like you may want to go to Humboldt Park and try this Puerto Rican spot, or make sure you get some Ocarinas or something while you're in town, or make sure just direct them to different places.
One of the amazing things about The Bear is that you guys were able to land these A-list guest stars and deliver some of their, like Jamie Lee Curtis, you could make the argument that The Bear is an Oscar-winning actress, that The Bear is her best work.
Yeah.
I actually told her that one time, and she said, I agree. She agrees that that's her best work, Bob Odenkirk, Josh Hartnett. But one of the great guest stars that you guys had, who is no longer with us, is the great Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
Did you have much of a chance to?
I didn't get a chance to meet him or chop it up with him. I didn't, and that was so sad when the passing and everything. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? I don't think anybody saw that coming. That was just shocking and crazy, but it was a blessing just to be on the same show as him. Mm-hmm. Like so many legends, Rob Reiner, like say Bob. Like I went to SIU in Carbondale.
Oh wow.
So Bob's also a Saluki. So
sure.
It's like it's so many connections on the show. Yeah. Robert Townsend. Yeah. Great Robert Townsend, a West Side legend. I'm from the West Side. My parents grew up near him. So it's so many legends on the show that came, and I think that speaks to the greatness of the show.
I want to go back, a very nerdy question, please forgive me. Season 1, there is, I believe, episode 7 is the one where a majority of the episode is one shot. Has to be one of the most impressive. The Oneer. Yeah. Has to be one of the most impressive just feats of television. If you haven't seen it, you could just watch the whole show, but you could just watch that episode because the premise is that someone unplugged like the ticker tape.
Yeah.
And by the time they realized it was plugged in, all the orders start coming in.
They start rushing in, and it's chaos from that moment. Yeah.
That had to be done. Clearly at least one time in full, but the pressure of getting 15 minutes in and forgetting your line like that. Yeah. Looking back, like what does that episode mean to you?
It's you're a part of history. Not in the moment, like after the fact. Like doing all this stuff on The Bear, we were just working, trying to make a great show. But now in retrospect, it's like, that was a really, really big deal. Yeah. Because I remember I think the day before we rehearsed like the whole day.
Wow. And this is before anyone even knew what The Bear was.
Yeah. We spent like one day just rehearsing that scene. I think like as the rehearsal was going on, I was like, what are we doing? Like this is gonna be like this whole thing.
No one's called cut.
Yeah, like okay, so now I want to okay, and everyone wants. It's like theater.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really cool comparison.
You get to doing theater in front of the camera. Yeah. And that makes it adds intensity. It makes it fresh. Keeps everyone on their toes, and then you have great actors. Makes it easy.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I want to swing back to Moses the Black really quick. Because it's going to be available to VOD, there's so many movies out there. I often tell people, like, The Godfather. Like, I never saw Godfather in theaters. I watched it when I got home. Knowing that there's going to be this second life, it's got to be sort of a rejuvenation of excitement for this film, knowing that now a whole other group of people are going to be able to see it.
Because, nowadays people go to the theaters, but it's not so much how it used to be. So
exactly.
You never know what the theatrical turnout is.
Because the turnaround is so fast these days.
We were in theaters like a month or so ago.
Exactly.
So it's like the turnaround so fast. So okay, it's streaming. We get that second life, and you feel like people can really just kind of like dive in more, take it at their own pace.
Yeah.
So I think people will like it. I think it will catch fire.
Love that.
How cool. Corey Hendricks, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Lisa's a little more quiet in this studio than Tao nightclub.
Tao was a lot of me going, what? Yeah.
And a lot of him drinking and a lot of him.
No, not on the air. Not on the air.
I didn't see it.
I gotta work in case the bosses are watching.
That's right.
Oh, it was a pleasure to have you.
Thanks a lot for having me.
I love listening to Jake ask these like really
nerdy questions.
Just great questions, and then also like just seeing collaboration. Because again, I'm just so unfamiliar with their world, and I learn so much when someone important like you comes on.
Oh, thank you.
So we we appreciate it.
Every time I talk with Corey, it's basically like, do you ever see that Chris Farley SNL sketch where he's like, he's interviewing Paul McCartney. He's like, remember when you were the Beatles? That was awesome. That's basically like me and Corey. I'm like, remember that time you did the Wonder? That was awesome. All right, guys. Chicago Now rolls on. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Get an 11.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. Corey Hendricks, such a cool
Wasn't
guy.
he the greatest?
My goodness. And I was telling you, it makes me a little nervous talking to like big celebrities like that. But I love having you next to me because you were just a wealth of knowledge, Jake. I don't know how you keep it all in your head.
Well, it takes
I really don't know, genuinely. I know it sounds cliche, but
that other important stuff could have. There's Corey, we love you, man.
That makes sense.
He's
Thanks,
leaving.
Corey. See, we even talk about you when we don't think you're here. In a good way.
No, that's what I do. That's what I love. I love the Bear. I love productions that are in Chicago. I love sort of the technical stuff, and really what I love doing, particularly in regards to talking like the Wonders, is maybe making someone at home realize a thing that maybe they didn't realize. I talked to a lot of people that watched that episode and went, wait, what do you mean it was a Wonder? And I go, well, did you notice that they never cut at any point? And then they kind of paused and went, oh.
And I remember that episode.
Yeah.
I remember that episode.
It's a great
and
episode.
Thinking how chaotic it was.
Yeah, a great episode. And as someone who used to wait tables, it was it was very triggering.
Me too, and
which everyone should.
Even still, I don't have like work nightmares. Some people have like work or scenario nightmares. I don't have them about this place. I only have it from when I was a waitress in college.
Oh, that's interesting.
Only time I've ever really had a nightmare.
I have not being prepared for interview nightmares. True story.
Well, because you're interviewing like huge.
And I have kind of finding out I'm interviewing Tom Hanks in 3 minutes and I forgot it. I'm not prepared and I haven't seen the movie. Like that is. But the thing
is that you would be thrown in that situation. You'd honestly be fine just because of like your.
We would all make it work.
Anyway, we have some trending topics.
Yeah, some really interesting trending topics today.
Did you know that each stressful person in your life may age you by months or even years?
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of text on here, so I'm going to have to look down so I get it right, okay? So the study's been published by PNAS and examined how stressful people in our social networks called hasslers affect aging. Do you have any hasslers in your life?
I mean, my best friend, Tyler, he's not what I would call him. We've been best friends since we were kids. And it's here's what I'll say is that it's more like pressure that I put on myself, right? So I'm going to be best man in his wedding.
Okay,
which
sweet.
means that I am, in charge of a lot of things, and getting the bachelor party together and keeping communication with all this sort of stuff, and it's just it's pressure that I put on myself to make sure that he's getting everything he deserves out of his wedding experience. And
wait, that's sweet, but what does that have to do with hassler?
Well, like he is sort of the reason that I am stressed. It's not that he is the hassler, but he is the person that I want to make sure is getting sort of what he wants.
You know what? It'll probably be great no matter what.
But here's
just go to the local blank. And bar.
Sure.
I'm saying bar.
Sure.
All right, and you guys have a little ball.
Yeah, that's the plan. But we're all spread out. He's in Texas. We got guys. We got some guys in Denver. We got guys all over the place.
Okay.
So it's more of that. Yeah. What about you?
Do I have any hasslers in my life? No, not really. I would say like some family can be hasslers.
Sure.
I think without them intentionally.
But doesn't it just like? It's as
I also
much
want to look
on
up the
you,
definition of hassler.
Like someone who hassles.
Oh, sorry, that was really aggressive.
But isn't it? It's more about how you react to it than I think like someone can hassle you, but you have to let them get to you for it to have the impact where like it's actually starting to physically age.
Okay, yeah. So individuals in your social circle who create chronic stress, increase inflammation, and may speed up biological aging.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's probably based off this too.
So okay. I don't know. I think it's all about in any aspect of your life how you react to the thing that's being thrown at you.
I guess that's true. Okay, but to get down to the hard cold facts, all right. About 30% of participants had at least one hassler, and roughly 10% had two or more, showing the negative social ties are fairly common. So participants also provided saliva samples in this little thing that they did to measure two indicators of biological aging, which is their actual age and then current pace of aging. So then that comes in with, 30% said that they had one hassler and 10% said they had two or more. Each additional hassler was linked to 9 months of extra biological aging and 1.5% faster aging rate.
I would also like to know what the average age is of the person who took part in the survey, because I'm closing in on 40. So my tolerance for people who have any kind of a negative impact on my life is shrinking by the moment. And I think when you're younger, you have a wider circle of friends, and statistically speaking, some within that circle might be hasslers, might be people that cause you this kind of stress and drama. But as I get older, what I need out of my life, I get from my close friends, I get from my family, I get from my girlfriend, I get from my dog. I'm good, so I'm kind of the belief that like I'm not going to engage in, if someone tells me 2 + 2 = 5, I say cool. You do you, baby.
Yeah,
go for it.
You have the maturity to know that it's not worth your time.
I don't know if it's maturity. I'm just old. I'm getting to the point where like my ability to tolerate BS is almost at a 0. And it's just like, if this person is having this kind of impact on you where it's physically aging you,
that's true.
Then why are they in your life?
Yeah.
That's a
lesson for you all at home.
But it also just it just comes with tolerating that kind of stuff less.
That's true. Yeah. I just think like it's not worth my energy. When people make me mad.
Exactly. I feel like so we have the same sentiment. You're much younger than I am, but
there's some insecurity that they're dealing with and they're taking out on you.
And here's the deal: is that these people who are being called hasslers, which I'm going to circle, they don't know that they're causing you. I mean, most people don't wake up in the morning with the intent of
I'm going to go hassle.
I'm going to go age my friend by 3 months. Like that's usually not their intention. But it is interesting. I mean, I think that's. I think stress in general. I think less of a stressful person, but more to stress in general.
I would like to say this last sentence here, because it says surprisingly, conflict with spouses or partners did not show the same aging effect. So say like someone's hassling you at home, like your partner, possibly because these relationships often include strong support that offsets the stress.
Sure, and I think when in regards to conflict with your spouse, it all comes down to communication.
That's true.
It's all about communication. It's all about you know, okay, well, what did I do to get us to this point? What did you do to get us to this point? And let's reverse engineer this situation. Ask Iris. Being with a communication major sometimes can be the most frustrating thing in the world, because I'm like, let's reverse engineer this thing. I over communicate to a fault, but yeah.
And sometimes I'm just too tired communicating in the morning.
Sure.
That I don't want to communicate with
And see, I'm like a golden retriever at 5 a.m. I'm like, hey, good morning. Let's talk about everything last night.
Here is the plan.
Yeah, exactly. Here's what we're gonna do. I spent all night doing a 12-step plan. Step 1. No, it's but no, it's honestly, yeah, to the point, like, my relationship is the antithesis of stress causing. It's what relieves me of
that's true, and that's how it should
throughout
be.
the day. It is like it should be like your safe space. It should be going home on the end of the day and whatever stress you have. And here's the thing, I have the greatest job in the world. Like I'm not even someone who like goes home and it's like, oh, I gotta de-stress from that day at work. Like I am very fortunate in that not only do I have a job that for the most part doesn't cause me a lot of stress, I don't have stress.
We have fun. We have fun.
We have fun.
Don't let the hasslers out there get you.
Yeah, the hasslers.
Because they will kill you.
They will or worse, they'll make you look older.
That's true.
All right, let's take a look at this.
I've been waiting for this kind of all.
Study finds top sleep slumberstitions that adults believe in. Are you a superstitious person?
Yes.
Yeah? I'm a little stitious.
You're a little oh.
You like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, superstitious?
Uh-huh.
No? Come on. All right. A survey of 2,000 U.S. adults found that 2/3 consider themselves slumberstitious, meaning that they believe that there is a right and wrong way to sleep. Are you a deep sleeper or a light sleeper?
I'm a very deep sleeper.
Are you? Me too.
Yeah. Woo.
Me too. Well done. I am
we're lucky for that, actually.
Like head on the pillow, halfway through the word goodnight, and I am out.
I mean, sometimes it'll take me maybe a hot second just because we go to bed so early.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too. But you have to get up. When do you wake up?
2:30.
See, you wake up much earlier than
2:15.
And you go to bed at what time?
Like 7.
See, that's
too late.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's still, but so you get up early enough where you have to change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
I start work at 6, so I'm up at 4:15 so that, we can have breakfast.
Which is still early.
It's still early, but, I have to account for taking
anytime
Daenerys out.
before 6 is early.
Yeah.
It's too early. And now we're making someone yawn.
Yeah, wow. We got. I don't know if the yawn is like
Sorry,
a part of the
guys.
sleeping bit or if we're boring them.
We're boring you. Sorry.
Okay. Let's see, some unique rituals to get a good night's sleep. I rub the side of my foot against my bed.
Those are some examples.
Before I go to sleep, and it calms my body down.
So do you have any, I guess the question is, do you have any sleep superstitions? Do you have to do something before you go to bed in order to sleep well? And it's like in your head where it's like, it's a superstition, like, or it's a, or
the only thing I have to do is close my eyes. Like
that's all you have to do.
I've always been Give me 2 minutes and I could probably lay down on this ground.
So it's not even like you have to drink a certain amount of water in order to feel
like, as long as I've taken the dog out, doors are locked, we're all good. Like I'm out.
Man,
I sleep soundly. I also sleep well on planes.
That's crazy.
I always tell people that
you're really a hard sleeper.
Yeah, if I'm awake by the time the wheels are off the ground, something's not right.
Wow, Jay.
Yeah.
So I would call myself medium because there's no way that I'm going to sleep on this.
Do you not sleep well on planes?
There's no way that I'm going to sleep on the plane. I have literally probably a 10-step routine before I go to bed.
10 steps?
It's pretty ridiculous.
What do you mean? What?
Well, because I'm a little anxious about getting up sometimes, not sometimes. I guess it's just like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, I have to go to work in the morning. It's just like, okay, I've got to get these things done so my morning routine's a little easier. So I have to steam my stuff in the morning, pick it out. I have everything laid out.
Guy. I woke up this morning and was like, oh, I'm going to wear that shirt.
I am going to record this week, but my my sleep time drink.
Yeah.
I do
You have a sleep time drink?
Yeah.
What is it, bourbon?
And it's literally 8 steps. It's
so
like
you have 10 steps, but one of the steps is 8 steps?
Yeah, and it's like vitamins, and it takes me, I'm always, I'm literally stirring for probably 2 minutes straight as I'm putting in these.
What do you start at 4? Like you're in bed by 7?
No, really, it's bad. And I'll record it because I think it'll benefit a lot of people.
I'd
It
be
has
curious
like
to see.
magnesium, it has fiber in it. And
Are you gonna post it on the
Kind
TikTok?
of just relax. Yeah, you know what?
On the Instagram?
The TikTok, the Instagram.
As the kids say?
The social channels.
The social channels. All right, here's interesting. Many people believe certain sleeping positions are ideal, such as sleeping furthest from the door and on the right side of the bed.
I always fall asleep also on the left side.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What am I doing?
It's like I know when I'm making that turn that it's going to happen. Like I am going to sleep.
I'm a back sleeper. Like I'm in a coffin.
And that's good. That's good because it's protecting your face, you know, so you're not so disproportionate.
What do I need protection from?
No, just like, you know, because like.
Oh, to like smush my face?
Too long, and then your face kind of like changes one side's higher than the other.
2 pillows, 1 pillow.
One pillow.
Me too. Okay.
Really soft.
48% say a top sheet is a must. 36% say they could take it or leave it.
I like it for just making bed purposes. I don't like it for sleep.
I've never really had a strong opinion. I've never almost 4 decades on this planet. I don't think I've had a super strong opinion about top sheets.
It needs to be there because it looks so nice when you make the bed. But I'm just a very particular person, Jake, and you gotta understand that about me.
Okay, so we've got this list that our producer Adina gave us of the most unique rituals to get a good night's sleep.
Okay.
And we were, listening to a short, calming story. But one
I
of
could
them,
see that.
One of them, who gave us these? It's from the study.
Oh,
One of them is falling asleep to the Beverly Hillbillies.
What?
What did they like measure people? They're like 84 years old. Like what? Like who is
peanut
falling?
butter.
Where is Beverly Hillbillies airing these days?
Eating peanut butter before bed and then you have to brush your teeth? That is disgusting.
Yeah,
right?
I hope you're eating peanut butter and then brushing your teeth.
Yeah, I would
Wait,
hope so, but either way, it just doesn't mix well.
Getting my cat above my head, like on the pillow?
Yeah, like you want Daenerys kind of in the right spot, you know.
Not by my head.
Okay, but for a cat, for kitty.
A warm pillow.
Clicking the door handle 3 times. This sounds like OCD.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit.
I have to lay with my phone right next to me. I will say, okay.
This drinking something hot and then having the cold room.
The thing that I would say the weird thing that I tend to do is I will set my alarm, put my phone down, and then like 2 minutes later just be like, I gotta check really quick because I'm so nervous that my alarm isn't gonna go off.
That is a slumberstition, I would say.
But it's less of a I have to do it to fall and more of a I'm afraid by nature of this job. Don't loop me in with I've got to watch Beverly Hillbillies.
It is a slumberstition.
Okay. I saw this. I think I've seen. Okay. You want to set this up? Take
a look at this TikTok video. I'm literally reading it word by word here.
I just saw this.
That's trending right now. This user claims that this video is from the O'Hare Airport bag room, and it's got the comment section kind of going off. But I gotta watch it. All right. Oh no, they're tossing it.
Yeah, they're tossing it. They're throwing it.
They're throwing it. That's crazy.
That's
no, I gotta see
great.
it again. Can we play it one more time?
We're gonna play it one more time. Do you?
I'm so upset.
You check or do you carry on?
I try to carry on.
Yeah, I do too.
I do try to carry on.
I mean, I feel like
I also try to like travel a little bit lighter nowadays. I used to try to bring everything in my closet, and now I'm like, why is that worth it? I'm not going to even wear half of this. And look how angry that person has problems. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Here's what I'll say is that have you ever like been on a plane? You're bored, you sit down, maybe you're in the window seat, and you happen to be at the window seat where like you can see them loading the bags onto the plane.
No, everyone I see is very respectful with the bags.
I just always get, but sometimes I just think like with the toss, like even a little toss, like what if there's something in there? I don't know. It's the comment section seems to be very pro robots. Listen, I
love robots.
In regards to robots taking over this job. Listen, I'm not a fan of anyone losing their job to a machine or to a robot. That being said, toss gentler, guys. Toss just a little, just put a little soft touch on it. Just a little soft touch.
Charles Best says, all in favor of robots taking over their position, say aye.
No, not a fan of
Tish says, what kind of names are these? I really do hope robots take over this job. It's Jay Barbie. Yeah, robots can take this job. Yeah, it's very robot heavy. Apparently the jury has spoken.
Yeah, listen, just toss them gently. Just toss them, but or carry on.
But I could see like you have 1,000 million suitcases and you want to try to get, as
sure, that's the thing too.
As possible.
I say all of this as someone who's never done that job before.
That's true.
So
and that's that's a sign for you, if you ever check a bag, not to put obviously delicate things at the top.
Yeah. All right.
Wow, that was a lot of aggression.
That's a lot of covered a lot of. I'm still stuck on the person going to sleep watching the Beverly Hillbillies.
Me too.
I just really need to know where Beverly Hillbillies is airing.
Can I be honest with you?
What are the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah.
Texas tea, oil, that is.
Nope.
No?
Yeah, we'll take care of this in
Judd?
the break.
Right? I'm not the only one. Anybody? No?
No. You have.
Oh, you did watch? Okay, yes. I was
someone-
like, okay, I can't.
someone
It was
has
here's what I'll tell you. It was a sitcom back in the day.
Okay.
And then they remade it into a movie in the 90s. And it's basically about this family they were from Texas. They called it Texas tea because they found oil.
Okay.
And then they moved to Beverly Hills.
Oh wait, maybe I have heard of this. Okay.
And it's called the Beverly
Sorry, everybody. I know little to nothing.
It's before your time.
Hey, guess what? We have more trending topics right after this.
More?
We have more. Get ready. Chicago Now. More trending topics for you, and this one caught me off guard because you wouldn't think that someone who's running for office would be, again, so angry. Why are people so angry? Hasslers, we had the person at O'Hare that's throwing suitcases.
Yeah.
And then this political candidate who was trying to pretty much not even play a trick, just trying to harass.
Yeah.
Straight up hassler, Airbnb tenant.
Inspired by one of the great Chicago films. This is interesting. Yeah, so a Minnesota political candidate was convicted of harassing and assaulting an Airbnb tenant after throwing a tarantula down the stairs to the unit a woman was renting. This happened on Friday, March 13th. Marissa Simonetti, 32 years old, was found guilty of misdemeanor harassment, domestic assault, disorderly conduct. But here's the deal.
Why is she acting like this is like a photo shoot?
She is.
Hold on. Look at. She's like smizing. She's doing like a pouty face. Like,
yeah, she is.
Come on.
Trying to make the most of that mugshot. Here's the deal. She says she was inspired by Home Alone to let a spider loose on the stairs.
And,
there's a what? Do we have the video?
We have it. Oh, here it is.
What are you? Oh my God.
Woman dumps tarantula on stairs, roommate to move out. That's. Wow. Okay, so the lady who was living there actually got this on camera. And she was renting it out because she was trying to study for a bar exam and getting harassed because of this Jacqueline.
Somebody was running for a seat on the County Board of Commissioners at the time of the incident, now running for U.S. Senate as an independent. gained national attention after the video showed Simonetti tossing a live tarantula down the stairs of her home.
But she was also messing with this girl, doing like shutting off her internet. I think it was entering the basement without any permission.
I just feel bad for the tarantula.
And she was reporting loud disturbances coming from upstairs from this lady. She's off her rocker.
I mean, but of all the, listen, there could have been, of all the things that Kevin McAllister does in Home Alone, this is on the safer. You know, she could have had the paint buckets.
That's true.
You know, what else? The cars on the. Well, no, she could have had the cars on the floor, paint buckets. Guys, help me out. What else?
And maybe she was setting up.
Oh, tarred and feathered.
That's true. She could have, sprayed water down the stairs and then froze it for Jacqueline to come up and then fall.
Have a hot take.
Please.
I think Home Alone 2 is better than Home Alone.
You know, yeah. I would actually have to agree with that. Now that I'm thinking,
in this city it's blasphemy.
I don't like to. I think the original's.
I mean, the original's great.
Most
people think Home Alone 2. He's lost in New York.
Okay.
Lost in New York.
Jake, I'm just going to agree with you because you're the movie guy.
No, most people disagree with me.
But I'm trying to also remember some of the storyline with Home Alone 2.
It's the same movie.
Oh, it's the same thing.
He's just in New York.
A little bit.
Tim Curry's in it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a whole deal. Here's a fun fact. We moved on from the U.S. Senate candidate.
I will say it was Friday the 13th, so maybe she was feeling just a little more witchy or something. I don't. Does that play a part in it?
She had a better.
Was it a full moon?
A better defense using that than I decided to copy Home Alone. Okay.
Maybe that's it.
All right. Here's another one. Museum curator using Gen Z slang.
Oh, I did see this.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can.
Off.
I can't say that.
Is it? Wait, is it inappropriate?
No, it's not.
No, okay.
I'm just not.
Okay, let me do it. Let me do it because Jake's too mature. Show off bussin', 16th century art piece. Chat, peep this.
I can't.
So Allison Lux is a curator, and she's pretty much trying to get young people interested in the arts. Oh, wait a second. She's way older than I thought she was. When I read this earlier, I thought this was a little
okay, so I thought, okay.
But I like this even more.
No, now I think this is cool. So she is using Gen Z slang. I thought it was a Gen Z kid.
So did I, and I was like, that's kind of cringy.
So she is the museum curator.
This makes it better. Allison Lux. So we'll just call her Allie for short, whatever. She appears in Instagram videos using, Gen Z slang. So she's really trying to get to the people where they are, discussing centuries-old artwork. So this is a 16th century clay dish by Orazio Pompei and has received over 8 million views. She jokingly describes the artist as an Italian Rizzler and praises the artwork using slang. This is so cute.
Here's a quote from her, from Allison. Chat, peep this bussin' clay dish from the 16th century made in the workshop of an Italian Rizzler. Oh, man.
Oh, she goes on. Money-maxing Sigmas would pull out Majolica plates. Okay, those are the plates. Like this at dinner parties just to flex their aura points. Look how bro glazed it. He went goblin mode.
What were the terms?
With all these colors.
What were the terms that, like, because there are enough years between you and me where our generations would have used different terms. Like, what are some of the expressions? Did you guys have?
I don't know. I think I just have like expressions from like friend groups that maybe didn't make it to like mainstream necessarily.
Yeah, like inside jokes.
Like,
you're talking about like inside.
Yeah, kind of. But also then a lot of people I know kind of use it.
Like you guys,
like, for instance, greasy. Like something's just like that's just greasy.
Oh, say I never.
Like that's just.
Do you guys ever use like
gross? You know.
Like that's the bomb.
That's the bomb. No.
Adina, that's the bomb.
I mean, when I was in like 6th, 7th grade, maybe.
Yeah. When something's cool, something's cool. That's the bomb.
I'm trying to think.
That's the one that like stands out to me is like, that's our generation's bussin'. Because I've heard of kids using bussin'. I can't use it because look at me, but the bomb is the one that really.
No, you know what? Watch. I need like a commercial break to like sit and just self-reflect and think about like what has been used before, but not really. Although I think.
A lot of ours were like not appropriate anymore because like they're not.
She says that a lot of these aren't really appropriate. A lot of the slang words that we use.
Oh, really?
Because it's not PC, which is
sure.
Which is very true, actually. So maybe I shouldn't think of any of them.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because they're always too young to even know what it meant.
Fair enough.
But I think this is so cute because she's kind of giving
anything that brings, anything that brings.
No one was really going to look at those.
Yeah, I love
those
that.
Plates.
I love that. I completely misunderstood the story off the top. Big fan of Allison. Love what you're doing, and you know what? If it introduces an entire generation to 16th century art, good on you. Well done.
I wonder if she could come on the show. She could zoom in.
You know, if anyone can make it happen, it's our team behind the scenes.
That is true.
All right, guys, we got to roll on. We got one more very special St. Patrick's Day segment. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Back 11:52. Gabby, guess what?
What?
It's Valentine's. No, it's not Valentine's Day. What day is it? St. Patrick's Day.
I was like,
it's St. Patrick's Day. Listen, it's been a week. St. Patrick's Day in Chicago is just better than St. Patrick's Day anywhere else in the country. I'm
actually very true.
Celebrations are in full swing today. They really haven't stopped since Saturday.
No.
And you can get the full experience with the Trinity Irish Dancers out at Chief O'Neill's, and we're going to learn more about what they have to offer. Siobhan McKinney, owner over at Chief O'Neill's. We love that you've got the headphones on because there's already a flurry of activity going on out there. Siobhan, thank you for joining us. Tell us what you got going on out there today.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me here this morning. We're so proud to be opening our doors just now for our 27th St. Patrick's Day celebration here in Chicago. We've got music, entertainment all day, every hour. We've got a different band. We've got the dancers. Of course, what would be a party without the Irish pipes, the drums, and we're finishing off the night tonight with the whiskey mix.
Oh, I love it. And you know what? I'm saying behind you, Siobhan, that this is a party at Chief O'Neill's for all ages. I see a little cute thing running around. I see some maybe older folks hanging out, having, maybe some Baileys and coffee. Tell us about the crowd that's there right now and throughout the day.
Yeah. Yes, fantastic. Yes. Usually when the doors swing open, the families come in. Of course, it does help that there's no school today, so lots of people waiting outside. All the kids come and enjoy the dancing. And then towards later in the evening, it does get to the older crowd, which is great, over 21 after 6 p.m. And we'll be open all evening till 2 o'clock.
There's a man over your right shoulder who we just had the camera on, who is having a good time. He's got the giant Guinness hat on. He's got I'm going to say not half empty, a half full Guinness in his hand. What time did you guys get going? Because it feels like people are having a good time already.
Yeah, just a little while ago, we swung open the doors at 10 o'clock. People came on in, and first thing, ordering Guinness. So always a good time with the Guinness.
Siobhan, are you from Ireland? Because I think I hear a brogue, an accent. And if so, how proud are you to know that, Chicago makes St. Patrick's Day so big and celebrates Irish culture so much?
Oh, yes, it's incredible, actually. We've had people this weekend coming from all over the world, actually. Australia, Canada, coming to celebrate Chief O'Neill's here with our traditional Irish music and celebrating Chicago, the best place in the world to have a St. Patrick's Day parade. You just can't beat it. It's better than Ireland. Trust me, I was born in Ireland. We started our St. Patrick's Day celebration with going to Mass, big shamrock on our lapel, but here in Chicago, they've taken it to a whole new level, an unbelievable experience.
I love Chief O'Neill's, and if someone can't make it out today, it's worth noting that you guys are fun every day, whether it's St. Patrick's Day or whether it's, any other day of the year. You guys are a blast.
Yes, absolutely. Chief O'Neill, of course, is recognized for saving Irish music. So we promote Irish music. We encourage people to come in and experience Irish culture, not just today, but all year round. We have monthly concerts. Typically, most bands come from Ireland. Next month, we have a singing group coming from Ireland in April. Check that out on our website. It's amazing. So all year round, we're doing corned beef. We're doing shepherd's pie. We're playing Irish music, dancing, and we do a lot of theater here as well.
Oh, that sounds so amazing. And Siobhan, I know that we got a sneak peek of the Trinity dancers yesterday, and that was amazing. They're going to be back this afternoon, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Come in and join and clap along with the Trinity at 7 o'clock this evening. It's a great time. As I mentioned, every hour we have a different act performing, so it's a party to not miss.
Oh, my goodness.
Love it. Siobhan McKinney, owner of Chief O'Neill's. We know it's busy out there. We know it's fun out there. We appreciate you taking a couple of minutes of your time and chat with us. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Chicago. Thank you.
She is so sweet.
Love that.
And yeah, we had such a good time, just like celebrating the weekend, and everyone's in such a good mood. And yes, it brings so many people from across the country.
Honestly, it really does, rightfully. I mean, we were, Mark and I were right over there doing our Saturday morning show, and just out the window facing west, we could see on Michigan Avenue, see the people pouring down the street whenever they were dying the river. It was really, it's a magical thing to see.
Awesome. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday, this primary election day too. We have a lot of election coverage that's coming up online on our shows later on here at noon, also tonight, this evening. So make sure you stay tuned and get out there and vote. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good day.